It's power rankings time here on NFL News. Let's dive right in. Carolina, the new bottom team in the NFL. The voters here at Chat Sports, the AP poll style, feeling excited about Kyler Murray coming back for Arizona, so they slide up incrementally. At 31, and I get it, it's the Giants. And there were some voters who had the Giants dead last in the rankings, and I can't say I blame them. Daniel Jones out for the year. Your best players on offense, Andrew Thomas, Darren Waller hurt. Tyrod Taylor's out, so it's going to be Tommy DeVito or maybe some Matt Barkley. Yeah, that's not great for the Giants. It's been a year to forget. Now, if you want NFL playoff predictions soon, you will not be seeing the Panthers, Giants, Cardinals, etc. in that group. Then like today's video right now. There is no live show this week. No live show today. We'll be live again on Thursday with my boy Tyler. But we will have more NFL videos for you. If you want playoff predictions, then like this video for me right now. Number 30, Arizona. Again, the expectations is you're going to have Kyler Murray back soon. There's not much differentiation between these three teams. None of them were higher than one voter had the Cardinals at 26. You can guess who it is if you've been paying attention as of late. Beyond that, though, they were all bottom three teams, and that's fair. The Patriots at number 29. I'm sorry, producer Chris. They are not a good football team. They just are not doing much of anything right. They couldn't beat the Commanders. It's fair to wonder if maybe they have a top pick in this year's draft and what could happen there. Number 28, the Chicago Bears. The Tyson Bagent era seems to be winding down, as entertaining as it was. It was fun to see that happening there. Again, the Bears are looking at the average rankings here. There's a bit of a gap after these bottom five teams. There's pretty good consensus that these teams are just not very good. What's nice for Chicago, they have their own first-round pick, and they have Carolina's first-round pick. So who gets the number one overall selection in this year's class to take Drake May or Caleb Williams or trade it or whatever? Or if you have a franchise guy, which, what if Arizona gets it? Would they trade it or take Marvin Harrison? I don't know. Who gets the number one overall pick? Get those predictions in for me at the comment section. Right now, it is the pinned comments on today's video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Green Bay is number 27 on the list. I don't think Jordan Love's the guy, and I'm sorry to say it, Packers fans, that's fair. It would not be fair to go from Hall of Fame quarterback to Hall of Fame quarterback to another top 10 quarterback. That would not be fair to the rest of the NFL. Denver at 26, about where they were last week. They were 20. They actually exactly were 26 last week, so no change. They're coming off the bye. Again, they've got very limited chances of making the postseason. The Raiders actually do go up several spots. It's what happens when you fire Josh McDaniels? Go figure, right? Yeah, that one was needed. It was a no-brainer. And Antonio Pierce, who had the team ready to go against bad Giants team, might get a little bit harder for the Raiders rest of the stretch, but hey, at least they got that game to look back on fondly no matter what and how this year ends up playing out. Number 24, the Washington Commanders, led by my guy, Chaos Agent Sam Howell. He's a gunslinger. It's fun to watch. I'm not sure I buy them as a true contender. They're exactly where they were last week. You beat the Patriots. It's not a huge thing to be excited about. Tennessee, meanwhile, number 23 on this list, the narrow, tough loss against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think you should open up the playbook a little bit more for Will Levis. I've been pretty impressed with what he's done so far this year. There is the room to do more with him and see if he can become your franchise guy. You should not play Tannehill again this season. It is the Levis hour, whatever you want to call it, in Tennessee. Let's see what he can do moving forward. What if there was an app used AI and machine learning to suggest smarter sports bets? Well, there is, and it's called Odds Are. It's the mobile app you need to know what bets of the day are the smart one. Download the app, sign up for an account, and let the latest data analysis guide you through today's point spreads, money lines, and over-unders. It's very simple to use. If you see green, take it. Go bet that one. If you see yellow, it's not a bad bet. They don't love it. You're on your own. Trust your gut. If you see red, it's not the right value. There's so much you can bet on these days. You got point spreads, money lines, over-unders, player props. There's a ridiculous amount of things to bet on. So what you should be doing is condensing it down to your best options. By executing the green line bets, you're going to come out on top. There's a special deal for you guys as well. Get your first 30 days of the app for free. Go to oddsr.com/NFL daily. That's oddsr.com/NFL daily. 30 days of smarter betting, all for free. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. The Colts check in now at number 22. Again, no real change in their status. It's a shame. By the way, I'll make note of this right here because we get to Stroud in a little bit. Who's been out of his mind. If Will Levis ends up being good, and Richardson can continue the flashes we saw, and Stroud and Lawrence, AFC South is suddenly a really good football division. The Rams at number 21, yeah, they slide down a little bit. They stay where they were. My bad. They stay where they were, which I think is fair because Brett Rippin out there. Like, what did you really expect to happen? So Rams are correctly placed, I think, at number 21. Number 20, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, exactly where I had them, and in fact, the average for Tampa. This does not happen very often. The average was 20. So very, very strong consensus there. They do slide down a few spots. The defense, what are you doing? I mean, they let C.J. Stroud absolutely cook them. The Falcons then at 4-5 are number 19, and that one's going to sting for them. You let 4 days with his team, not even 4, 3 days, whatever it was, Joshua Dobbs come in and beat you? Which, credit to Josh Dobbs and the Vikings offense, don't get me wrong. Arthur Smith has made the enemy of the fantasy community, and I get it. But also, man, it's second to go from the 1. You're doing a jet reverse to Jonnu Smith. Just run the football, my guy. You're a run-based team. Give it to Bijan. He's for the 7th overall pick on him, and you're doing jet tight ends now. That's that like stupid Chiefs BS of like, oh, we're going to do a touch pass to Mecole Hardman on 3rd and 2 and lose 8 yards. What are you doing? Be better, Atlanta. They dropped down several spots to number 19 in a not good NFC South. The Jets at 18. Defense is good. And they've had some issues this year. Turnovers have kind of killed them a little bit on offense and made the defense's numbers look worse. They face a very tough path to making the postseason this year. It's a very good AFC. It's going to be tough for New York. Folks, we have daily NFL videos for you. News, rumors, power rankings. We'll do draft coverage as the season winds down as well. Hit that sub button. YouTube.com/chatsportstv. Number 17, the Vikings. They're getting hot, baby. I think they are correctly rated as one of the lower 5 and 4 teams. I don't know if you can really bank on Joshua Dobbs. As fun as it is getting you to anything more than the 7 seed, which, by the way, to put this in perspective, the Vikings are number 17 on our list. Number 16 is the New Orleans Saints. We'll go ahead and go to them here too. The Saints are the leader right now in the NFC South, and the Vikings would be the 7th seed in the division based on our power rankings. And they are 16 and 17. So I think you have your obvious top 5 contenders in the NFC. We'll get to those guys in a little bit. And then everybody else with a division winner and one more wild card spot open. As crazy as it sounds, the Packers are 2 games back. They're not out of it yet. Let's go to number 15, the Houston Texans, one of the more pleasant surprises this year in all of the NFL. C.J. Stroud is absolutely a piece of this franchise moving forward. He is their guy. He is already playing, I think, as a no-doubt top 10 quarterback. Even before that Austin game against the Bucs, he has been dealing as a pocket passer. The Stroud-Slowick combo, long as Slowick is still there as the OC, is going to do wonders in Houston. The Chargers keep clawing their way up. There is still some hope of them being the better team than what they've been maybe over the course of the season. It's a make-or-break year for Brandon Staley. Again, we mentioned the NFC and the 2 of the seeds are outside the top 16, whatever, or at 16 and 17. If you get to the AFC, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th team, and they're 14th. If my quick math serves me correctly, which I'm not actually sure that I did the math right. No, actually I did. It's a loaded AFC at the top here. The Steelers are at 13. This is what Pittsburgh does, folks. They will win 9 games at minimum, even though the offense is objectively not very good and the defense is great and Mike Tomlin keeps making stuff happen and Matt Canada's a bad OC. It's insane. And that might be enough to get them in the postseason. I think if you're an AFC team, you're thinking, does 10 wins get us in, or is that the tiebreaker to get us in? That's how good it is this year. All right, best team in the AFC. There's a lot of good ones. Chiefs, Jags, Dolphins, Bengals, Bills, Browns, Steelers, Chargers. It was 8. It was top 8. Was my math that I did wrong there. Still over half. It's a loaded AFC. Let me know what you think is the best team in the division. Conference, excuse me. Number 12, Seattle. If they could just figure out their third down stuff, they'd be incredible. They have not figured that out yet. We'll see if they do. If they get that going, the offense is actually really good. And they will push the Niners to win the NFC West this season. They got blown out by the Ravens. Ravens are, I think, are the most underrated team in football right now. Number 11, the Cleveland Browns. How does the quarterback playoff factor in? Worked well against the bad Cardinals team. Deshaun picked a good week to come back, I suppose. Let's see how the rest of the year plays out. Their defense, though, I think it's the Browns and Ravens, 2 best defenses in football at this point. I am worried about the Bills, though. Their defense is not. It's just not good enough. They have real problems. They're missing too many key pieces. So they have to ask their offense to do these massive, long, sustained drives. And Allen's good for 1 turnover a game at minimum. And it's just, he's playing well, by the way. I'm not going to let the 5, 10%, whatever you want to call it, plays override the other 90 to 95%. He's actually played very well this season. But the defense is really, really a problem at this stage. The Cowboys at number 9 on the list. That was a tough loss against the Philadelphia Eagles. They get an easy part of the schedule now, then some meat later on. They were almost a unanimous top 10 team. One voter, the same one who had the weird ones earlier, had them outside the top 10, but there was really no debate that 10 and 9, pretty clear rankings, along with number 8, the Bengals. If you just cross off the first 3-4 weeks of the season and say, it was Joe Burrow's calf injury, they've played out of their minds. They have. They've beaten the Seahawks. They've beaten the Niners. And they've beaten the Bills. All teams in the top 12. It's very impressive. Now, it's a total season. There were some high rankings for the Bengals, 3 and 2, or as high as they went. No one had them lower than number 9 on the list. Dangerous team. Tough AFC. Can you catch the Ravens already down a game? I don't know. You have to go on the road on Thursday. It's going to be a great football matchup. Bengals are dangerous, though. The Dolphins. They give me some vibes of like the 2021 Cowboys in particular, where they are just lighting up the scoreboard against bad or average opponents. And then they play the best teams, and it's just tougher. The Bills, before they lost all their guys, tough loss. Chiefs and Eagles. It is actually very hard to beat teams that are good. That's why they're the good teams. If you're aiming for 50%. Bills are 0-3, and that's going to be a potential problem, or the Dolphins are 0-3. Are going to be a potential problem come playoff time. So are the Dolphins frauds? I don't believe so. But I know that is a common complaint I have seen. Are they frauds? Y for yes, N for no. Jacksonville at 6. They're just ho-humming their way along to a 6-2 record. No one's paying that much attention to Jacksonville. I love what I've seen from Trevor Lawrence. Iron out some of just the weird, boneheaded mistakes on offense and special teams, and they have a chance to get the number 1 seed still. So does Miami. The Niners at number 5. The bye came at a good time. They lost 3 straight. Something tells me they're about to get back on track. The Lions at number 4, and they were almost a unanimous top team. They were as low as number 8. A few voters had them pretty low. But they lost against the Ravens. And then they got blown out, I know, but the Ravens are playing great football. Baltimore's number 3. I had them at number 2, by the way. I have been very impressed with what they've been able to put together so far this season. Harrison had them at, I must say who it was, but he's being positive. Harrison had them at number 1. They are narrowly behind the Chiefs. We're talking the thinnest of margins here between Baltimore and KC. Chiefs offense has some kinks to iron out as well. But no surprise, nearly unanimous number 1. I'm a little surprised it wasn't, frankly. I think they should be unanimous. Philadelphia. Has it always been the prettiest? No. But that's what great teams do. They win games maybe they aren't supposed to or should have lost or whatever. Philadelphia is on its path again to getting the number 1 seed, home field advantage, and trying to work their way back to the Super Bowl with a great quarterback and a great roster. Go figure. It's a good recipe for success. Grade our power rankings. A, B, C, D, or F. We can take the criticism. Remember, if you don't like it, it was not my fault. If you do like it, I took all the credit. Go vote right now.